An epic finale to Serie A is round 37. Inter hosts Milan, and it's more than a derby. I'm your match commentator Paul Visca, and I'm joined at the San Siro by Richard Whittle. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, everyone.
With 180 minutes remaining in the season for the two Milanese giants, never has so much been undecided, and with destiny in the hands of others. Visitors Milan come into the third derby of the season, seeking all 3 points to keep the pressure on Juventus and take the title race to the final day of the season. Likewise, nothing less than a win will do for Inter in their chase for third spot.
Well, when we saw this fixture list come out and we saw the penultimate day of the season, the Milan derby, we were wondering what significance it would have. Now we can see what it has. This is one of the most eagerly awaited derbies for a long time. I think way back to maybe the Champions League matches. It means so much for both sides of the city, both teams, and of course Milan, as you said, Paul, have to have the 3 points. So I feel tonight they're going to come out very strong, attack early, look for the early goal as they did last year when we were here in the same stadium, and Pato scored early on. No Pato this evening, of course, as we look through the lineups. But I feel like Milan, if they want to get in behind Inter, they've got to attack early on. Inter, they're going to defend deep and then try to play on the break, bringing Schneider and Alvarez into the game to get in support with Milito.
Certainly confidence in the Milan camp. They've gone 5 games unbeaten. They've won 3 in a row, and they've closed the gap on the Bianconeri. Inter, well, they were in full flow until midweek. They were tripped up by Parma, and that's taken some of the wind out of Andrea Stramaccioni's sails. However, the coach in charge of his first derby, Allegri, his 5th, and it's the 5th different Inter coach he's facing. But no real surprises in his starting 11. But we'll start off with the home side to go with Julio Cesar in goal. A back four of Maicon, Lucio, Samuel, Nagatomo. In midfield we have Guarin, Cambiaso and Zanetti. Alvarez and Schneider also will be located somewhere in that area, with a lone striker in Milito. The Rossoneri have Abbiati in goal, Abate, Nesta, Yepes and Bonera. Across the back, Nocerino, Van Bommel, Muntari. In midfield, Boateng supporting Ibrahimovic and Robinho.
Well, both sides very physical sides, very different from other matches that we've seen in the derby. This could be a real physical battle, and which side can come out top early on will decide it, I feel.
The referee this evening is Nicola Rizzoli, his 5th derby, an experienced man in charge of what will be a tough encounter. The referee blows the whistle and we're underway. Inter against Milan. Serie A round 37. And Muntari is in possession, the player who was on the other side.
Well, he's been a player transformed since he moved across the city. I wonder if he's wearing the Inter shin guards this evening as he was when he first joined Milan. I'm sure they've changed them now, but certainly he's been an excellent addition to Milan.
Playing as part of the Inter squad when Milito scored the only goal in the first league meeting between these two teams, which was preceded by the Italian Super Cup in Beijing back in August.
Well, he was strong there, he held off Cambiaso, and Robinho did very well there in taking the ball off Zanetti. You can see Zanetti there's right thigh heavily strapped, but a match like this, Stramaccioni's he's got that experience in there with Zanetti, Cambiaso. How many derbies have they played? His first, of course, the coach.
However, he lost Stankovic. He's undergone Achilles tendon surgery. A player who loves not only to play against Milan but to score against them as well. However, Robinho, as you said, Richard, back in the starting lineup, refreshed, revitalised after Cassano had replaced him, but Allegri's gone for the Brazilian. Cassano playing 2 matches in 4 days, doesn't have 3 in a week in those legs. However, not bad option to have on the bench.
Well, I'm sure we'll see Cassano later on, but I think it's the right to start Robinho. If he can get that moving down this left-hand side. His trickery can cause problems, and I know in midweek I commentated the game against Parma, and I was so impressed with Giovinco. There's not a player out there like Giovinco tonight, that has to be said, with that sheer pace just to run past defenders. So I think the physical battle tonight for Lucio and Samuel, they'll prefer facing someone such as Ibrahimovic.
There's a ball through for Robinho though by Ibrahimovic. Overhit. Julio Cesar comes off his line. Abate also making progress down the right hand side.
Well, Abate's got the pace as well, but Ibrahimovic almost playing like a midfield playmaker there, dropping deep, and then we just saw the pace there of Robinho over the top, just overhit. But a good lively start to the game, isn't it? The pace is quite high, and Inter, they're not sitting back as I thought they would. They want to play a little bit further up the pitch.
Snyder playing further forward behind Milito, with Alvarez out on the left hand side. As Zanetti steps forward, Snyder with the flick. Didn't come off though for the Dutchman. But Guarin wins back possession in the centre circle, plays the ball out to Maicon.
Well, two confident touches by Guarin early on. He's certainly got no big game nerves.
Ibrahimovic gets in the way of a Cambiasso crossfield pass. Inter scrapping in midfield, and Guarin comes away with possession. And he fancies a shot, takes another touch. One touch too many.
Well, he let us down there after two wonderful pieces of action. Could have easily got the shot away from distance, but as I said, a real battle here in the midfield. And
Montari's sliding,
straight in
the ball. And he's been called over.
Well, Montari there wanted to make sure that Schneider knew that he was there. He's had a few things to say, hasn't he, since he moves across town from Inter to Milan, and saying how he's enjoying his football again. Got the ball eventually. There, Paul eventually got it. I think he caught Schneider first of all. Schneider's still down there, but he's okay. He's a tough character, Wesley Schneider. But as we said before, it is that midfield battle, and just the moment it's Inter that are just shading it.
Also, Nocerino wasn't holding back.
But that's what derbies are there for, aren't they? You don't go out there just to play a tippy-tappy football early on. You want to dominate and impose your style of play on the opposition.
Free kick taken too quickly for the referee's liking. Quite difficult though for Guarin to hear the whistle over the din being made inside the San Siro. Zanetti touches the ball back to Lucio. He felt the pressure there of Boateng, but it breaks to Guarin once again. This time it does go for the early shot. However, there's an offside decision.
Wasn't the best of headers away there by Yepes, but Guarin's again taking up excellent positions there. And you just saw that it was Milito who a little bit slow coming out.
Milito, who decided the first derby in Serie A between these two teams this season.
And a little rush there with that forward ball from Montari there, a diagonal ball over the top, and Ibrahimovic trying to get one-on-one with Samuel, but bypassing Boateng and just giving possession back to Inter.
Walter Samuel has won 8 out of 8 derbies in the league as a starter. The lucky charm for Inter. However, it was Lucio, the player named by Stramaccioni, is the one who'll be his best player in this match.
Well, he needs to be after his performance in midweek against Parma. He needs a big performance tonight. But as I said before, this is more of a physical battle at the moment, and yet to see the skilled players really get into the game.
Nesta still unsure if this will be his last derby. His future undecided.
Well, play really condensed, isn't it, into the midfield? Not a lot of time on the ball for any player. Pass have got to be sure, as it was there from Milito.
First touch out to Snyder, likewise for Maicon. Back in for Zanetti. Maicon through the legs of Montari. The Inter fans love that one, but the midfielder, feisty as usual, back in with a tackle, cleanly on the ball.
too rushed there, really, wasn't it? Maicon had got away, but he doesn't have the pace of hold, really, and Muntari chasing back, clean tackle, and then Cambiasso too quick to play the ball forward there for Zanetti, asking a lot there of Javier Zanetti.
Bonera with a throw to Robinho. Intelligent crossfield pass to Abate. Continues his run. Forward. Forced into touching the ball back to Nocerino inside his own half. Now Nesta, the pressure on Nesta. Still has the skills though to get out of trouble.
Well, he got away with that as Borini was pushing up there to help him help out Milito and put pressure on Nesta. But you've got a lot of classy players there, comfortable on the ball.
Bonera to Boateng. Cuts in field. Nocerino. Ibrahimovic. Looking for a 1-2. Now Boateng goes down and stays down. Crumpled in a heap from that tackle from Walter Samuel as Inter break forward. Zanetti. And another tackle from Muntari, cleanly on the ball. Van Bommel sends Alvarez the wrong way. They get tripped up from behind. And a free kick for Milan. It's hectic stuff.
It is indeed, and if you take too many touches here, you see there, Van Bommel even fouled himself. Wasn't touched at all, was he? And the referee was right on the spot for that, but obviously just wanted to calm things down for a moment, get a breath back for him. But I think if Zanetti, we've seen a couple of times just wanting that extra touch, and Muntari straight in with a challenge.
Abate sets off. No problems on the right-hand side for Milan. It was on the left-hand side. Antonini pulled up with an injury. It is Muntari. Goes for a pot shot way off target. And with Zambrotta and Nesban not called up for tactical reasons by Allegri, the only choice was to play Bonera as fullback.
Well, Bonera, he's solid, isn't he? He's not going to get forward as Antonini does. On Espa, but at the back he's very solid, and that's what you need. You can build from that solid back three, if you like, and allow Abate to get forward and support down that right hand side. Nocerino tucking in a little bit into the midfield just to close down the Inter players in there.
Abate also didn't finish the match against Atalanta, so De Sciglio is on the bench to cover the right back position. As the ball breaks to Muntari in midfield, one touch, then releases Robinho, keeps the ball in play, takes on Maicon, skips past Maicon. However, Lucio steps in. And is rushed into a pass, giving possession back to the Rossoneri. Van Bommel. Lucio though makes up for his earlier mistake.
Well, Lucio there wasn't a lot of options on really, and in the Lucio of old would have galloped forward across the halfway line, but he knows that that's a dangerous option now with his aging legs, and just try to play the long ball forward.
Here's one of Inter's youngsters, Alvarez. Brings to Nagatomo, shot in comfortably into the arms of Abbiati.
Yeah, routine save there for Abbiati. He'd be happy to get a touch to the ball.
Muntari. Certainly not shying away in this opening spell. Over 10 minutes gone, still goalless between Inter and Milan. Boateng. Robinho. Jogging Maicon. Back to Boateng. Couple of touches. Still trying to make space for the shot. Samuel sliding in. Bonera touches the ball back to Van Bommel. Steps away from Guarin. Sends a position for Van Bommel. Second in on the cross, and Ibrahimovic over the crossbar. From 6 yards out.
Well worked move from Milan, wasn't it? A lot of patience. Working down the left-hand side. Boateng and Robinho combining well. Then when the ball came back out, that's a wonderful ball. Boateng making the run, and Ibra, you'd expect him maybe just to knock that one home, wouldn't you? Outside of the boot with the right foot, nonchalant finish. A little bit too nonchalant on that occasion, but Milan just showing the quality they have when they do keep possession.
Alvarez looks to release Milito. Still outside the penalty box, nobody in support for Milito, and he's crowded out.
Well, that's the problem for Inter, isn't it? He was very isolated, and that's the earlier shot straight at Abbiati, and then the ball played in here, and Ibra, well, you expect him usually, got in front, got him one with Nagatomo, got in front of him, and really that should have been 1-0, while at the other end Milito going away from goal, and Milan knowing that Inter weren't sending any other players forward, they could just sit back.
Robinho, his pass read by Cambiasso. Snyder's down. There's a free kick for Inter. Robinho's pass easily read by Cambiasso, could set off that Inter counter-attack. Halted here.
Well, Snyder had played the ball. It was going nowhere. Bonera just couldn't resist. A little tap of the ankles there in the heat of the moment. But certainly Milan, when they do keep possession, they look the much dominant team. But the problem is, if they look for the quick ball forward, then lose it and caught on the counter-attack, and it could be a problem for them. And it's real cat and mouse, isn't it? We haven't even reached the 15-minute mark.
Snyder with a delivery, unmarked at the far post. The flag is not up, it's in the back of the net. The Milan defence stopped. Inter continued, and Milito bangs the ball in, and it's 1-0 to the home side.
Well, the Prince does it again. Steps up when needed, but what was the Milan defence doing there? Standing statuesque. They allowed the run to the back post. There's a great ball played in by Schneider. Hopefully we'll see the replay now, and the whole defence returned looking towards their own goal. Ball played back across the face of goal. Milito definitely not offside. Let's watch this again. Look at this, 2-1 at the back there, right at the back, not offside. Whole defence coming back, everyone stops. Nesta stops, arms are up. Milito, he's not going to stop inside the 6-yard area, taps home.
And it was Bonera, who was the player playing Milito onside, who was first to raise his arm.
Well, that was the problem. It was 2-1 at the back post. There was a great ball by Schneider, though, wasn't it? That has to be said. And now this has suddenly changed the complexion of the game. Just when I felt that Milan were starting to take control, this happens, and Samuel did very well, didn't he? Just knock the ball up. There wasn't much he could really do about that. But Milito, the real instinct of a striker inside the penalty area.
His 21st goal this season in Serie A. And you consider there's another shot just blazed wide.
Well, that was whizzing towards a goal from Guarin. He got one touch, got it away from his body. Well, not far wide. Let's have a look from behind the goal. I don't think Abbiati would have gotten to that. Just a yard or so further in. So suddenly the whole complexion of the game swung Inter's way. But we're only 15 minutes gone. But what a derby it's been.
The man who decided the earlier match between these two sides has put Inter in front. And when he scores, he scored in 3 derbies, and Inter have come out on top in all 3 of them.
Exactly, and the derby earlier on in the season, that was a Dour derby, wasn't it? We both agreed on that, but not tonight. This is a different, completely different game altogether. It reminds me a lot of the Champions League encounters between the two sides when it meant so much, and tonight means so much for both teams, and certainly for Milan, and that chase for the title against Juve are also playing at the same time against Cagliari and Trieste.
Snyder goes back to his own halfway line. Intelligently finds Cambiasso and Guarin. Inter have numbers on the left hand side. Nagatomo's on the overlap. Alvarez lays the ball off. Guarin. Montari can intercept. Zanetti to Maicon. Plays in the ball. Abate whisks the header away.
A wonderful ball, wasn't it, from Maicon?
And Maicon's back in, winning the ball in midfield, clearly on top now. Buoyed by that 1-goal advantage. Inter keep possession with Snyder. 1-2 with Milito. Nobody inside the penalty box up. Nagatomo's furthest forward on the left hand side. Alvarez 1-2. Milito. Shot charged down by Yepes. Robinho can't get the better of Lucio, and the free kick goes in Inter's favour. And Robinho feeling the pressure.
Yeah, I just feel that a few of the Milan players are starting to feel the pressure a little bit, having gone the goal down. Inter players are playing it their way. Lucio came across there, he knew he wanted to win the free kick, he got it. Robinho got a little head up with the Inter bench, but what I want to say is that this is the time for the big players to really step up for Milan. They've got to keep their shape, they've got to be calm, they've got to get the players into the game, they've got to get Ibrahimovic into this match. He missed an easy chance. Milito at the other end scored an easy chance. That's the difference at the moment, and it's given Inter that more confidence.
And those two opportunities divided by only 2 minutes. Ibrahimovic inside the 6-yard box, putting his effort off target. Milito basically from the same distance.
I've been impressed with Guarin. I'm sure you have as well, Paul. He's been very confident on the ball. There he is in our picture, and when he gets possession he seems to have a lot of time just to lay off the pass, and he made a good challenge there on Nocerino. Nocerino hasn't got into the game at the moment, has he? Hasn't been involved. I don't like Nocerino on the right hand side of the midfield. I think he plays a lot better when he's on the left hand side.
Nocerino rested for the most part of the game last weekend against Siena, came on, scored his 10th goal of the season. So he's had some chance to get his energy back. Certainly his levels were dipping.
Certainly, but when he's on the right hand side he can't make those runs beyond Ibrahimovic. When Ibrahimovic drops back on the right hand side and Nocerino is on the left, he can make the run in behind the defence, and we've seen a few goals of Milan have scored that way. But since he's moved over to the right hand side I don't think he's been as an influential player going forward.
Sneijder, there's a given space here. Sneijder tees up the shot, bammed away, Lucio, and it's 2-0! But it's offside, this time it is offside.
Fortunate, so fortunate for Milan. That was a terrible piece of goalkeeping from Abbiati. And look at how much space Schneider's got to run there, hit the drive. Lucio is in an offside position, no doubt about that. That ball's got to be parried over the crossbar, hasn't it? Not back into your penalty area there. Abbiati got away with that, very fortunate. But Milan, 6s and 7s in midfield. Nocerino's not involved. Van Bommel can't stamp his authority. Ibrahimovic is a passenger, he's walking around up front, he's got to drop further back. Robinho's been buzzing, but he's isolated. Boateng a lot of running, but not really to any great effect. Milan have got to start working as a team now.
And Bonera is hobbing round towards the touchline. Lucio, rather disappointed, certainly banged the ball into the back of the net with aplomb. Guarin once again battling to win back possession, and then gracefully passing the ball forward. The ball breaks again to Alvarez. Forced out wide, and then the experience of Yepes. But he didn't get the free kick. Sneijder, shot breaks up and out for a corner.
Trying to carry the ball out of defence. We've seen you can't do it in this derby. You take 2 or 3 touches, somebody's going to slide in and win the ball back cleanly. And again, I think it's all built around Guarin. The fact we see the substitute. Guarin has got the midfield, he's controlling it, so allowing Sneijder to push forward, Sneijder to do what he just float out wide. You just watch this corner.
Easy take for Abbiati Di Sciglio, who made his debut not so long ago in Serie A. Comes in to a heated derby with his side trailing, and he's playing out of position on the opposite side. Maicon already breathing down the youngster's neck.
Did he want that ball thrown to him straight away? The ball knocked out to him, that should have been knocked long. Allow the youngster a chance just to get his bearings. Immediately the ball's thrown out to him. Maicon, very experienced there, getting in, forcing Di Sciglio back. But he's a young player, but I've seen him play on a couple of occasions this season. I saw him in the Champions League as well, and he's very level-headed young player. I don't think he'll be phased at all.
Boateng, there's a hard shoulder to Milito. There's a free kick for the Nerazzurri in midfield. And then perhaps question marks over Allegri's choice to leave Zambrotta and Nesba. out of the squad.
Well, as we said today, before kick-off, we're saying it, a physical Milan side. Strong players in there, Boateng, Muntari, Cassano, we're going to see him on. Milan need that skill, they need something, that outlet. And of course, we're only 22 minutes into the game, but they've got Cassano on the bench, and I think we would have seen him on maybe a little bit sooner if they'd gone 2-0 down.
Zanetti slips at the crucial moment and doesn't get the corner. Again, Inter working the ball cleverly upfield. However, he's saying that Cassano will come on. But notice that Allegri, he never is one to send on players too early, certainly not in the first half. It's difficult to see him doing it before the hour mark. No, definitely, I absolutely agree. It's a little bit too early to start taking that sort of action, especially when you've already made a substitution as well, forced into just Milan. I think they've got to, like, less of the physical stuff and more passing the ball around, but they just can't get the ball, can they? Inter winning it back on every occasion, and Sneijder's become very difficult to mark. Guarin to Lucio. Maicon. Milito can't reach the pass. Yepes, well-timed challenge. Now Boateng. It's all hurried.
Too hurried, isn't it? It's too hurried from Boateng. His challenges have been too robust. His passing is just too hurried. He needs just to settle down. Now he's bypassed there and out of the game.
He's been out for quite a while. Kevin Prince Boateng, brought in only for those Champions League matches against Barcelona, not risked domestically. And you can see that he's been off the pace, certainly in this cut and thrust of the derby. Another hurried pass. Ibrahimovic just got in there.
Once Samuel goes to make the challenge, either gets the ball of the man. He's seen on him a few occasions, and he didn't want Ibrahimovic just to create that space to get away.
Yashilio on the left-hand side, shovels possession onto Muntari. Yepes tussling with Milito. Milito waved back up by the referee.
Needed to be a good challenge there from Yepes, and
Robinho clips the ball forward, pressure on Maicon, puts the ball back to his goalkeeper. Out for a throw to Milan as they're trying to regroup.
Yeah,
in the 25th minute.
And they want to win the ball higher up the pitch before it gets to the halfway line, and then they can start playing it around inside the Inter half as they're doing here.
Nocerino misunderstood completely about his intentions. Nagatomo. Alvarez didn't look back there. Split. Samuel and Lucio. The Argentine though. Plays a lovely ball out to Sneijder in acres of space and running at this Milan defence. Milito 1-2, Sneijder off balance, still gets the ball back to the goal scorer. Now Nagatomo onside, attacks Abate, and the throwback concedes the corner.
Very rarely you're going to get past Abate for pace there, and they just couldn't get the shot away. But in the past we've said Milan, they dominate games, then they play the game at their pace. They're not being able to do that this evening either. It's far too rushed. Nocerino give the ball away, then he was caught out of position. Sneijder, he's unmarkable, isn't he? He's just going out wide and picking up so much free space.
Headed away by Boateng. Ibrahimovic takes over. Waits for some support. Still Ibrahimovic. Robinho, Muntari. Inter have regrouped at the back. Crossing by Muntari and Lucio again covering, and the flag is up offside. Ibrahimovic taking Milan forward, and then too far forward there.
Yeah, well, he wanted to, and at least Ibrahimovic was bringing the ball forward, bringing players into the game, but then once the ball went out wide to Muntari, The pace of that attack slowed down. Ibrahimovic had kept his pace going to get into the area, which was the right thing to do, but the ball should have been whipped in a little bit quicker than that.
Yepes again getting the better of Milito. Nishilia comes the ball back to his goalkeeper. Snyder putting pressure on Abiati. Ibrahimovic using his strength against Samuel, looks for a free kick against the referee, the same gesture as it gives for Milito. Get back on your feet, Sam. Nesta. Again, his positional sense doing him justice.
And this is where Milan have suffered, isn't it? Down this right-hand side, the ball's always had to be played back, and then Guarin there, unfortunate, he gives away the free kick. But that's where the pressure's been really telling on Milan. While down this left-hand side, they've had more of an outlet.
So Boateng cuts across back to the right. Nocerino. Simple pass to Abate. Heavy first touch from Ibrahimovic. Space out for young Deschilio, the substitute. Right footed with a cross.
And they're really, Yepes at time, maybe just take that ball down on his chest and keep Milan going forward inside the Inter half, but wayward header. But Milan just starting to settle down a little bit now and getting into their passing game. They've taken their time. I thought they'd be out of the blocks a lot quicker than this, and in fact it was the other way around, and Inter caught us by surprise.
Deschilio just about gets a tackle on Zanetti. Certainly there's enough to unsettle the Inter captain. Robinho avoids Lucio and Cambiasso. Nobody galloping up on the right hand side for Ibrahimovic. Robinho certainly covered a lot of ground there. Ibrahimovic, lovely sidestep away from Guarin. Is he going to do it all on his own? He needs some support, and eventually runs out of ideas and runs out of options. And it's the counter-attack for Inter. Nagatomo's pace against Abate. Cleanly on the ball for the referee. And Nesta flips the ball forward for Nocerino. Milan have got three players forward. Van Bommel looks to pick out Boateng. Pace against Maicon. Van Bommel drives on the shot. Held by Julio Cesar.
Well, end-to-end stuff there. There was a bit of schoolyard football, I thought, there from Ibrahimovic, just trying to take everybody on. I'm the best player in the school, and running into trouble, and then suddenly Inter, 2 or 3 passes and they're up at the other end of the pitch. And this is the way I think the game is going to develop, where Inter will look to break quickly and as few passes as possible to get to the other end of the pitch, while Milan, they've just got to calm things down even more with their passing. What happens immediately? Boateng just plays a ball over the top to no one really, when he could have come back. Go back into Van Bommel. Here's the goal again. Everyone standing stock still apart from Samuel. It's a great ball from Sneijder, I'll say that again. And Milito with the finish.
A season that started so disappointingly for Milito. He's managed to find the net 21 times in Serie A alone.
Well, I've said it before, I don't think there's a better natural goal scorer in Serie A than Diego Milito. And that goes also for Antonio Di Natale. I think as just in the box striker, Milito is at the top.
Guarin lays the ball off to Nagatomo. Inter happy just to play the ball about in midfield. Now they come forward. Guarin again teeing up the shot. Doesn't pull the trigger though. Montari helps the ball into Maicon inadvertently. Zanetti and Maicon. Now the space for Guarin. He looks up. Abate covering the cross. With no other option not to flick the ball out for a corner.
Guarin as well. What a quality player he's showing this evening. There was a lot of talk in the Italian press. This was his last chance to really impress Inter, because he's only on loan from Porto, and they don't need to take the option on him. He's had a lot of injuries, but this evening he looks a quality player, a player that Inter been calling out for since Thiago Motta left.
Cambiaso with a header. Is it crossed the line? Abbiati with a spectacular save.
Well, that's where Abbiati is at his strength, the reflex saves. But we'll have a look at that again from the replay.
It's still Inter, trying to push forward. Nagatomo breaking forward on the opposite side. Is the ball in to the middle. Cambiaso's going to break to Sneijder. Puts it wide.
How did Sneijder miss that one? Really, we were ready to celebrate all around us. Everybody was on their feet. And Cambiaso battling away, and Sneijder, you'd expect him to knock that home. Hits the ball into the ground. Saved by Abbiati.
It was saved by Abbiati.
Definite save. Don't know if it was going in. Let's have a look at this header.
And Abbiati's now down injured.
That was very close. Very close. Hard to say. That's a difficult one, isn't it, really?
The ball didn't seem to have crossed the line. We've said that before this season.
Abbiati getting a bit of treatment. And we get another look at it again. No, it doesn't look across the line, does it? Wonderful save. Doesn't look in.
Oh, the replays.
We'll see a lot of replays. We'll see a lot of replays now of that, but wasn't given. That's the major point. It wasn't given. It's 1-0 Inter. It should have been 2-0. I thought Wesley Sneijder should have scored. Abbiati made the save. The referee didn't see that and has given the goal kick. But on the negative side for Milan, Abbiati's picked up an injury, and it could mean another change for Mr. Allegri. And Abbiati's walking away. Doesn't look in great shape, does he?
And that kind of sums up their season. Injuries have certainly reduced the potential of the team. We'll never be too sure how they would have performed. And now it's a second change.
Yeah.
On comes Amelia.
So this has got a major bearing on the match, hasn't it? One more change for Allegri. He's made the 2, and that means that with the goal down as well, he's got to hope that not going to have any more injuries. Of course, you can never tell. And then you've got Cassano to come on. But when Abbiati made that reflex save, he must have just pulled a muscle, looked at a thigh muscle. Amelia's on.
Montari winning the ball in midfield. Boateng pushing forward. Robinho just hasn't got into the game. Little flashes, but he needs to be a lot more consistent. Montari flights in a hopeful ball, which was won by Ibrahimovic. Still Ibrahimovic, and a save by Julio Cesar.
Wonderful play by Ibrahimovic. That's what you want to get. You're the tallest man on the pitch. What you want to do, you want to get a one-on-one with the smallest man on the pitch. And excellent play by Ibrahimovic, but you've got to ask questions about Samuel there. He allowed Ibrahimovic to get one-on-one with his fullback. Good save from Julio Cesar, but Ibrahimovic, such a danger, isn't he, even just from a standing start.
And another player receives treatment. Walter Samuel seems to be okay. It doesn't seem to be okay.
Well, it needs to be serious to keep Walter Samuel down. And it looks slightly serious, but he's back on his feet. And look at that. And Abbiati in a lot of distress there. That hamstring looks like he's pulled it completely the way he's walking. And another injury for Milan, but they've got Amelia in goal, who is a very good goalkeeper, of course.
Now we're inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. 1-0 to Inter. Milan forced into 2 changes. Bonera replaced by De Sciglio, and now Abbiati by Amelia. Guarin, one of the star performers so far.
Yeah, for me, certainly I've been very impressed. The confidence on the ball, calm on the ball, never gives it away. And Sneijder starting the little flicks there. When Wesley Sneijder starts getting on with those little back heels, you know that he's full of confidence.
Alvarez coming in from the left-hand side.
Good challenge there from D37. As I said before, confident young player, not fazed by the big derby atmosphere whatsoever. Plenty to think about for Mr. Allegri.
However, nothing much you can do about it, with only one more change available to him. D37.
I think it's just getting the mindset of his players right again. Once he gets them into the half-time interval, they start playing like the Milan we know, which is get the ball one touch, move, and move the ball up with quick passes up the pitch, which they haven't been doing.
Boateng. Ibrahimovic. Robinho. Slips. Chirino still battling though, couldn't keep the ball in play. And while last season the two derby victories for Milan certainly kept Inter at a distance and was fundamental in the Rossoneri winning the title, here if Inter win the second derby this season in the league, then that will be the two matches which have wrested the title away from Max Allegri's side.
Well, they definitely have a bearing. Of course, the derbies always can change a season. We've seen that around Italy, you know. But these are the matches that are matches within the whole season. Just at the moment, Inter just that yard quicker to the ball.
However, we have seen Inter start off like this in other matches this season, and they do tire.
Exactly.
Certainly before the last 25 minutes of the game.
Exactly. They won't be able to keep this pace going, and Stramontroni will have to look at his bench as the game wears on as well. But he has a lot more options, of course, than Mr. Allegri.
Nocerino to Robinho. Clever feet by Robinho. Tari. Headed forward again by Robinho. Could have taken it down in his chest. Inside the box. Boateng. As Milan go chasing the equaliser before the interval. Robinho sees Abate. He's got space for the cross.
Good idea there from Abate. As soon as the ball came in, knocks it straight into the 6-yard area. Expecting a run from someone, wasn't to be. Samuel across, but that's better from Milan. And it's patience as well. Drawing the ball out to the right flank, then switching play to the left to try to draw Inter out of position, and then to create that overlap on the opposite side.
Boateng. Cross doesn't get beyond Maicon. He's out of position still. But
that's a poor ball there, wasn't it? He was a bit languid in his approach there, the youngster, D37. When the ball came back into the centre circle, he really needed to drive it out quickly.
The ball's been given away by Nagatomo. Boateng, he's overrun at the byline. Mistakes 3 in a row.
Well, that will give Boateng a bit of heart to get a good, strong run to the byline and show that he's got the pace to get past Nagatomo. But, unfortunately, just took that extra touch, just took the ball away from him. Maybe if he was 100% fit, he would have reached that ball and been able to swing it into the penalty area.
Van Bommel with one of his trademark tackles.
He was late there, Van Bommel, wasn't he? But once again, Guarin, he was the man who created the space there for Alvarez.
Guarini has been a Jekyll and Hyde figure. It's at times outstanding, and others he's been substituted early due to his lack of involvement in the match. That's why Inter's still unsure whether or not to take up the option. However, with this performance here, certainly he'll become a fan's favourite. Yepes. Van Bommel. Ibrahimovic now on the left-hand side. Montari fends off Samuel. It isn't foul. It was Robinho though. Matching onto the loose ball. Boateng. The ball's broken out to Ibrahimovic. And it's a penalty. The referee awards the penalty for Milan in the 42nd minute.
Well,
was it for the original tackle by Julio Cesar?
Was it a handball?
Boateng. Or what did the referee see? As Ibrahimovic's shot went wide, it certainly took a deflection. Julio Cesar, though, seems to be furious.
Did he see a handball? That's what we're asking.
Or did he see this here as the ball was clipped through? Boateng, did he have the pace to get the touch ahead of Julio Cesar? And that there is what the referee saw as the penalty.
Well, won the ball cleanly. There's no doubt about that. That's a terrible decision from the referee, isn't it? Ball won cleanly. That's where the keeper comes out, dives at the feet of a player, and he gets a clean touch on the ball. I thought it was for a handball or something, because there was no way, even from up here in the stands, I could see that the Julio Cesar had won the ball cleanly.
And Inter concede their 11th penalty of the season. 10 was already a record for the club. Milan have got their 10th penalty. They've scored 8 out of 9 so far. Ibrahimovic. Julio Cesar still not in his goal. A little bit of psychological games here.
Yeah, a little bit of chronology there from Julio Cesar. But, well, talking points. There's never any lack of drama, is there, in Italian football? Every week we've got something to talk about. And what's Julio Cesar coming out to speak to Ibrahimovic about? Well, the referee should take action there. He could book Julio Cesar for that.
He's already been booked.
Well, he could send him off for it then. You can't just walking out. The referee needs to take control of this game. He's lost it completely here, the referee.
Penalty for Milan. 44th minute. Ibrahimovic steps up, drills it into the back of the net.
Coolest man in the stadium, isn't he? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We're back on level terms. And now the whole complexion of the game has swung back towards Milan. What an evening we've got. Inter wanted to get into the half-time interval, just that goal ahead. Milan, Allegri was already talking about his team talk. Now he can be a lot more positive, I think. And that's a wonderful penalty, isn't it? Don't know what Julio Cesar was doing there. Whatever he was doing, it didn't work. Zlatan Ibrahimovic gets the last laugh on that one.
Goal number 27 in Serie A for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He also scored in his first derby for Milan against Inter. Again, it was from the penalty spot. That time it decided the match. Here it has drawn the Rossoneri level. In the final minutes of the first half, we'll certainly have plenty of stoppage time.
Well, we'll see how Inter react if their heads go down. Already that's a terrible pass from Lucio.
Ibrahimovic draws the challenge from Cambiasso.
Yeah, well, that's a yellow card challenge, isn't it, really?
The referee, though, keeps his card in his pocket.
He does. He's not really got control of this match anymore.
3 minutes of stoppage time. Do we have some more fireworks in the end of this first half?
Well, we're getting them off the pitch anyway as well. It's like the old days of Italian football. Way over to our right, the flares are going in the Milan behind the Milan goal.
Abate. Knocks onto the loose header from Samuel. Is a deep cross. Montari playing in 1-2 with Ibrahimovic. Not textbook stuff though. Then high feet from Cambiasso. The referee just looks on. Cambiasso waves play on. Perhaps it should be the other way around.
Well, was it Cambiasso waving play on, or the referee? That's the question. The referee, the person who needs to get into the half-time interval and regroup, is the referee and his officials, and get a hold of this game again and start making some right decisions, just to keep it as a as a spectacle. That's what I'm talking. I don't want it to we don't want the game to get out of control.
They certainly had plenty of talking points, even over the last month in Serie A. That there from Julio Cesar, and another. Inter clearly on top in this first half, but they're not going to go into the interval with an advantage, 1-1, unless they can muster something here in stoppage time. Slack pass, but slack control by Yepes. Zanetti, space for Nagatomo, he looks up, Milito makes his run. Nobody at the far post, De Sciglio clears up to Boateng will try and use his pace to take on Zanetti. Intelligent pass in to midfield to Nocerino. He's blocked there by Samuel. Lucio scuttles across. Ibrahimovic lets the Brazilian clear.
Ibrahimovic suddenly he's got the confidence back, and there's a little bit of discussion there between Nocerino and I think Cambiasso. Nagatomo was involved as well.
It was Walter Samuel who clearly blocked the run of the Milan 22. And then there were some words afterwards, and Zanetti tried to separate the two, but
ends up booked. Zanetti, wasn't he?
Yep, as was Nocerino. Robinho, not fouled, stays down. The referee again.
Well, it was a late challenge there on Robinho. There's 3 players challenged him. The referee allowed play to go again. This was I was just talking about, Paul, where the referee needs to get control of this game. Look, I could see this from the stands. You could see it from the stands. How come the referee can't see it? That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying, I know the pressure's on everybody, but referee needs to take control. Inter, they feel hard done by the penalty, obviously, but now they're making the challenges. They're beginning to lose their heads a little bit, but the referee's allowed them to do that because he's not taking action against them. He's not bringing out enough yellow cards and stamping his authority on the game. Van Bommel rightfully is angry with that, as Inter should be angry about this decision. But we've got to get on with the game. The players, I know it's difficult sitting in the stands. We're relaxed out there. It's a different story completely.
And Abbiati is making his way down the tunnel. He's had enough of the first half of the referee. Well, he having still Cambiasso speaking to the match official. Robinho nursing that leg of his. Certainly got some clatter there from Samuel. Then Samuel tried to drag up the Brazilian as well, which wasn't appreciated by the Milan players. And the referee needs to show more personality in the second half as he brings the first to an end. It's 1-1 at the San Siro.
Yeah.
Fireworks on and off the pitch.
Ironic applause from the Inter fans, but what a thrilling first half here. And the second half, I think there's going to be a lot more. The pace may drop a little bit, but I think we're going to see a few more goals this evening.
And there's everything still to play for. Join us after the interval at San Siro between Inter and Milan. The scoreline as we go into the break is 1-1. We're back at the San Siro for the second half between Inter and Milan. 1-1 the scoreline. Inter took the advantage through Milito on 14 minutes. Half an hour later, a penalty for the Rossoneri, and Ibrahimovic drilled home the equaliser. It has been quite an eventful match so far, and we can expect more in the second half, Richard.
Well, a pulsating first half, everything that we hope for in a derby, and taking away the decision there from the referee as the players were coming out. Julio Cesar was still having a discussion with the referee, and certainly the replay showed that he got the ball, but Inter have got to put that behind them now and look to take control of the game as they did in the first half. But can they do that? The amount of energy they expended in that first 45 minutes, especially going forward with Schneider. That midfield with Zanetti got forward a lot, Maicon as well. Now it's very much back in control for Milan. They had a poor first half, but at the same time they didn't expend as much energy, and now they can come out and really attack Inter in this second half. Also, we just have to take into account Milan have made 2 substitutions as well, but they've got Cassano on the bench also.
The referee blows the whistle. We're back underway. Inter 1, Milan 1. Van Bommel. It's a very heated end to the first half, and it's quite a noisy start to the second.
Exactly, but down on the pitch the players will be completely concentrated on the task at hand. Wonderful play by Boateng.
Ibrahimovic in front of Julio Cesar, puts the ball in the back of the net. What a finish by Ibrahimovic.
What a start to the second half, and Ibrahimovic again steps up. What was that, 35 seconds on the clock, and Inter torn apart, and that's what we were talking about. Milan could come out and really attack Inter at the start of this second half, and they've torn them apart. Inter completely asleep, but wonderful play by Boateng with a dummy as well. But Ibrahimovic, what a finish, and twice he's knocked the ball past Julio Cesar within a minute, if you take in the break for half-time as well. But what a wonderful finish, just dinking the ball over the diving goalkeeper.
Also his first touch took him away from Maicon and Lucio, and his 28th goal of the season. Just how important is it going to be? We've had fireworks.
Well, yep.
On the pitch as well now.
The second half starts with a bang, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic providing it, and louder than the noise off the pitch was the roar from the Milan bench. Everyone was straight out to celebrate, and now Milan can start moving the ball around.
Cambiaso, late foul there on Nocerino. Just to clear up, it seemed to be when Zanetti separated Nocerino and Cambiaso in the first half. It was Cambiaso who received the yellow card, not the Inter captain. And so these two players booked in the first half. Again, a little bit of afters there from Cambiaso.
Well, he needs to be careful. Again, late challenge, and on the yellow cards. Last thing Inter need is to go down to 10 men. Still a long way to go.
I'm sure the referee had a couple of extra sugars in his tea at half-time to calm his nerves at the start of this second half. He'll need to be on top of his game. He's blowing his whistle now. The referee wants to try and keep things, at least try and keep the lid on the match.
Well, certainly for Milan, they'll want to keep Inter pinned back, and with the lone striker as well, it's going to become a lot more difficult for Inter if they can't get that support to Milito as they were doing in the first half. And it's a big ask here, Stramaccioni as well, as a young coach. He's got to get his tactics right and his substitutions right.
Nesta, a fine interception, will be asked into the call of duty once again. There's been a foul in midfield.
Wonderful play by Robinho, wasn't it? Dragging the ball back there, and caught late by Schneider.
Stramaccioni has already said that Pazzini and Milito cannot play in the same team, and so the only other choice up front for the young coach is Mauro Zarate.
Well, Zarate is the type of player that could come on and cause problems. He could come on the left-hand side, push forward. He's a very good dribbler with the ball. Sometimes he just carries it a little bit too far, but certainly can create something, so that's a definite option that Stramaccioni will have to look at. But for now, I think for the next 10-15 minutes, Inter, for them, they've just got to calm things down, even if they are a goal down, and try to play on the counter-attack. They know that Milan will want to start getting possession and go forward.
Schneider goes for an incredible shot, saved by Amelia. I'm not sure he knew exactly where he was in his goal mouth there. Schneider, what vision!
Well, that's when we're talking about world-class players. They suddenly produce it out of nothing. We're asking for something special from Inter, and suddenly Schneider produces it.
Nagatomo steps inside the penalty box, and Abate touches the ball away from Schneider.
Where did
concede the corner?
Where did Schneider pop up from suddenly? What an effort off the bar, was it? Off the bar of the post. That's an incredible shot. No, it wasn't. It was saved. Excuse me, getting too carried away there.
Schneider's delivery. Players go down inside the box. Inter supporters claim a penalty. It's a throw.
Well, they'll be throwing themselves inside the penalty area, and definitely there. That looked like a penalty, didn't it?
Yepes following the run of Samuel, nowhere near the ball. Mundari
pulled the shirt as well. Play on.
Another delivery. And Amelia, strong at the edge of his 6-yard box.
Well, it is like the old days, isn't it, as well? We've got now the from the far ball, the smoke bombs that go up, shrouding the stadium. It made it difficult to see that long-range effort from Schneider, but in the end it was a good save from Amelia. Got back well, did the right thing, tapping the ball away.
There's the penalty claim for Inter. Ibrahimovic on a hat-trick against his former side. Robinho trying to work himself in a position to return the pass to the Sweden international, and Snyder's got another free kick. Very stop-start at the moment in midfield.
Well, the important thing is that Wesley Sneijder gets onto his game, and he got the confidence from that long-range shot. Suddenly he was buzzing. He wants the ball. There he is, running again short. He wants to create things. This will be the key man, I think, for Inter if they want to get back into this game.
Milito goes down. This time will be a penalty. The referee says it's a spot kick for the Nerazzurri.
Well, he got in behind Abate there. I don't know if there's much of a touch. Let's have a look again. Well, no, definitely across the arms there. Abate, he just couldn't keep his arms down, could he? If he could have just taken another stride, I know it's so difficult, but he had to make that decision straight away. The arms across, Milito went down, and the referee, well, that's the simplest decision he's had to make all evening.
Abate, he made the mistake in the first derby, which allowed Milito to score. Didn't want to let Milito go side again, he did. And he's conceded this penalty. Milito for his second goal of the match against Amelia. Up steps the Inter striker and buries the ball, sending the goalkeeper the opposite way. And we're all square once again. It's Inter 2, Milan 2.
What a coolly taken penalty from the Prince. Il Principe Milito. Sweetly struck, brings us back to 2-2. Now it's all swung again. What an evening we're having here in Milan. The San Siro hasn't seen this for a long time, and it's great. Italian football's back. We've got everything. Controversy, the passion, the goals, and the quality players. And this was what makes Serie A one of the best leagues in the world.
Boateng, as Milan come forward once again. They tried to take some of the pace out of the game, but they couldn't settle in possession. Inter chasing every ball, hiding in midfield. The tackles were flying in. There's Van Bommel, strong against Guarin. De Sciglio on his right foot, happy to find Ibrahimovic. Back to the youngster. Boateng keeps possession. Nagatomo steps in though.
Took too long there, didn't he, Boateng? Thought he'd get the shot away a little bit earlier.
Van Bommel crunching into his tackle on Alvarez. Boateng to Abate, across the face of the goal, doesn't reach the far post because Lucio got in there.
Well, Abate, now he has to go head down and get forward, make up for his mistake at the other end. And the ball played in, it was just driven across really, hopeful more than anything. But Van Bommel suddenly, two good challenges from Van Bommel, moving the ball out wide, getting it back again, starting to take control in that midfield area.
Lucio and Ibrahimovic exchanging opinions. In comes the corner, headers one, and it's just gone wide in front of goal. Montari.
How did Montari not knock that into the back of the net? I think even that maybe the Zlatan Ibrahimovic header was going in, was it? Keeper would have probably got it, but Montari knocking the ball away.
That would have
from
been
the goal.
His fourth goal in Milan colours.
Let's see that again. Keeper would have got it. There, he just couldn't get the second stride. Naturally, Ibrahimovic unhappy with him.
And only 10 minutes gone in this second half. Everything has happened. And another mistake by Inter. Are they beginning to tire already? Robinho steps inside, the ball goes behind Boateng. Montari late on the challenge on Cambiaso. De Sciglio cleanly on the ball, but the referee pulls back play for that earlier challenge, and players running into the melee in the middle.
Well, the Milan players go over there to defend the youngster, rightfully so. Zanetti there took umbrage to that challenge from Bocelli, but I thought it was the youngster was going for the ball. But any 50-50 challenge that doesn't go the player's way, and I think that was a clean challenge. And Zanetti, all credit to him, when he calmed down, that's it, he's saying, okay. And that's great to see. Zanetti, of course, one of the great ambassadors for football. And Mr. Van Bommel there, always a word or two for everyone. and it will be the heart of the Lions tonight who's going to come out on top.
Il derby della Madonnina, as it's known, the Milanese derby. De Sciglio. Van Bommel sprays the ball to Robinho, who's passed behind Boateng. There's a costly mistake. Abate. Boateng. Now his stamina will come to the fore for Milan. Certainly against Serie, he was a slow starter then. Was one of the strongest players in the second half.
Yeah, he always comes strong, Boateng. Also, when he can get a run on the ball as well and wind himself up, he can really cause problems.
1-2, Ibrahimovic and Robinho. Not work to perfection. The ball bobbles out for a goal kick.
It's a difficult one there. Then the ball dropped down again for Ibrahimovic. It bobbled up there, and difficult to fire away the shot. But that is an unerring finish from Milito from the penalty spot. He's missed a few this season, but there was no way this evening, and that's the difference when the top players in the big games, they step up and they don't miss their chances when they come to them.
Alvarez can't shake free from Abate. Nagatomo will take the throw.
Maxi Lopez and Alberto Aquilani warming up, going through a very vigorous warm-up for Milan, which could see a change. Well, definitely going forward, maybe a throw 3 up front.
Nagatomo again can't get away from Abate, but the fullback concedes the corner. The Milan fullback guilty of having conceded the penalty to the Nerazzurri, the penalty which has tied the match at 2-2 after Ibrahimovic put Milan in front 30 seconds into the second half. Sneijder's delivery. Guarin. Shot takes a deflection. Another corner.
Worth the effort there from distance. Got the ball down and quickly got the shot away on the half volley. It was rising, and Boateng watched it the whole way. Headed behind for a corner.
Alvarez's cross punched away by Amelia. Falls to Maicon. His effort goes harmlessly wide.
Now we've seen him strike a few goals from that distance when the ball bouncing up. Not this evening, but Stramaccioni.
The ball hadn't gone out of the penalty box there. The goal kick will be taken once again. Nesta not wanting to risk being caught by Sneijder.
Well,
two Rome-born players here for Milan.
As I was saying there, Paul, Maxi Lopez and Aquilani, I think just getting a bit of looseness into their legs. I can't see them coming on really. Cassano, he's just started his warm-up.
Also Gattuso hasn't sat down, but I think that's just the nerves.
Well, that's just Rino Gattuso. Even when he's on the bench, he wants to get involved. But as we said before, Milan just the one substitute to make, and it's got to be probably the most important substitute of Allegri's career, one feels, and I think it's got to be Antonio Cassano.
Abate to Boateng. Plenty of space for Boateng. Picks out De Sciglio. He's on his wrong foot though. That's the cut infield. There's no other choice. Right-footed playing on the left-hand side. Robinho falls to the ground. Looks up hopeful at the referee. His hopes have been dashed.
Well, Guarin, he looks, he's struggling. He's shaking his head. He's got to come off. So, got to make the substitution for Inter. They've got to do it pretty quickly because he cannot move. Guarin there's in the centre of midfield, just walking around, shaking his head. So he's just pulled up, maybe a muscle strain.
Was it trying to hit that shot early? Very spectacular, but
yeah, he's gone complete. It could be cramping up as well, of course.
Stramaccioni is hopping up and down as well, in frustration at the touchline as Milan come forward. Robinho, shot drilled in, ball breaks back to the Brazilian. headed out for a corner. Inter complaining they were down to 10 men. The referee let play continue.
Well, Guarin went down there, he just couldn't continue. He tried to run back and he just collapsed in a heap.
But he has been trying to communicate to the Inter bench for a couple of minutes that he can't continue. And another enforced change for Milan in the first half. Now the first for Inter in the second. On comes Joel Obi.
Well, that's a player that has impressed all season with his running, physical player as well. Will run all evening, so a perfect substitution anyway to come on. Guarin, I think it's just cramping up really, isn't it? And just went down the way he went down, it seems like cramping, but the applause for him this evening, and he's done his future at this club the world of good come this summer. Very impressive performance.
Obi will come on, and his first task will be to help defend this corner for Milan. Just over the hour mark. Inter 2, Milan 2. Corner. Edge of the 6-yard box, head away by Milito. Tired touch there by Van Bommel. Boateng. Getting stronger and stronger. His crosses in for Yepes. And he puts his header wide.
Golden opportunity there for Mario Yepes. Wonderful again from Boateng. It's all about pace, power, excellent delivery, wasn't it? When he gets down to the parallel with a 6-yard area, he can really whip in a wonderful cross, as we saw there. Yepes with the glancing header, but Milan just looking stronger now, aren't they?
De Sciglio takes the ball away from Milito and overhits the pass into the middle. Certainly De Sciglio hasn't been unsettled with his run-in against the Inter captain Zanetti. Alvarez, Obi in support. Still Ricky Alvarez, who's got the corner.
Well, it's a good snaking run there. There wasn't a lot of movement inside the penalty area. He just had to try to take the ball.
Also Alvarez walking rather gingerly. A player who passed a late fitness test to be named a starter this evening.
That's why Stramaccioni will have to go to the bench again, one feels.
Stramaccioni having a word with Baresi. As a cross is in by Snyder, punch away by Emilia. Robinho doesn't fancy mixing it with Maicon. Lucio, Milito, still Milito, tight angle, and he gets another corner for Inter.
Well defended there by Yepes, getting across, but suddenly Milan just being stretched in this game. When you feel that one team are getting on top, suddenly the opposition go down the other end and put pressure on them. So this game really, honestly, could go either way, couldn't it?
It's an absorbing ebb and flow to this match, round 37, the penultimate week of this Serie A season. Headed away by Boateng. A throw for the home side.
Well, Alvarez was happy that ball to go out. He just didn't have the legs there. Boateng closing in on him.
Snyder trying to close a 1-2 with Maicon. Well defended once again by young Mattia De Sciglio. Ball given away by Nocerino. Put himself in the right position. Yepes shuts the door, slams the door in the face of Alvarez.
It did well there. Yepes got across, got his body in front of Alvarez, who went down rather too easily there, really, didn't he? Good referee.
How many more twists and turns are left in this match and in this season?
I think for Milan, the time is coming to bring on Antonio Cassano. I don't see him as yet
however, there is
getting
movement.
ready, but it's got to come on. Milan have got to go for this victory.
Abate to Robinho, Ibrahimovic. Abate is onside. And the ball goes towards the far post. Muntari can't earn the corner. Didn't believe the ball was going to make its way through to him, to the midfielder. Ball flighted over the head of Maicon by Abate, who was not on offside.
Just wondering at this stage, Cassano to come on. Well, definitely warming up. He's definitely going to come on. Well, that argument is closed. But who to come off? Midfielder, Nocerino, Muntari, certainly not Boateng. I think you've got to keep Robinho on, and Ibrahimovic, really, you've got to go for it.
Well, Nocerino does seem to be a spent force. You've got to drop Boateng back into midfield. Boateng, who has looked very impressive in the second half. You want to drop him deeper.
And he can make the runs forward as well. He's full of energy. As you said, Paul, he's a player that does improve as the game wears on. He doesn't, his energy levels increase rather than drop.
Ibrahimovic picks his pass for Abate, supported by Robinho. Robinho didn't like that challenge, seemed to be pretty straightforward. Van Bommel. Muntari. Robinho's onside. Robinho spins his effort over the crossbar.
Wonderful run by Robinho. A diagonal run. He got away. No one tracked him back. There's a great ball played over the top by Muntari, and just slicing the ball, getting under. The angle was getting tighter. It's a difficult one, but wonderful run from the right hand side, the diagonal run right into the penalty area there. He's very good at that, Robinho.
Abate slices his clearance. Van Bommel touching the ball down for De Chilio. Boateng runs at Lucio, and he'll have the pace to reach this ball. And goes down, and it's a goal kick.
Thought he would have just tried to whip the ball in with the left foot there, but just over elaborating.
De Chilio once again strong in on the challenge. Nocerino getting the ball from Muntari, and also getting the shout from his teammates.
Well, De Chilio, since he's, well, I knew he'd be a calm player when he came on, but his positional sense has been excellent, and he's just been able to come forward, intercept the ball, take it away from Milito on a couple of occasions. Milito trying to get one-on-one with him, get away from Yepes and Nesta in the middle. But it hasn't worked so far.
Muntari, as Milan probe away the Inter defence. Ibrahimovic dropping deep once again. Robinho looking on Cambiasso, doesn't trick the experienced Argentine. Obi, Snyder will be doing well to trap the ball from Alvarez. It was overhit from close range, and Alvarez does look exceedingly tired there.
Yeah, he's worked hard. Another impressive performance, and talking about both Milan and Inter building for the future. There's a couple of youngsters on there this evening and have played very well in this heated derby situation. He's looked very calm and collected on the ball.
Abate. Nocerino steps away from Obi. Boateng out to Nocerino. Abate turns inside. Shot slapped over the crossbar by Julio Cesar.
Patience there from Milan. Boateng, Nocerino playing the 1-2 and allowing Abate to get into position there on his left foot.
Demonstrating great positional sense, Abate.
But routine save really from Julio Cesar. First thing the keeper always wants to do is push the ball over the crossbar.
Robinho's corner. Boateng picking up the piece at the edge of the box. Cross just cleared away by Cambiasso, out for a throw.
Exactly, Cambiasso back in the heart of the defence. There was Schneider got the header away as well. And so for Inter, it's getting everyone back in defensive positions and just clearing the ball away. We know that Milan are going to come strong heading into the last 20 minutes of the game.
Ibrahimovic. Both he and Milito on a hat-trick. Here's Robinho inside the box. Lucio helping out Nagatomo.
Well, defending right in front of their 6-yard area there. Inter, Nagatomo stood strong, helped out by Lucio.
Cassano looking on, waiting for the call from his coach, as Allegri still weighs up his options, who to take off to bring on Sant'Antonio. Obi still in possession for Inter. Snyder, one of his favourite positions for a shot, held by Amelia.
Yeah, he caught it too well, didn't he? And it curled straight back into the hands of Amelia, but Schneider just finding a bit of space there. He's another one who's tiring. He's had a couple of looks over to the bench as well. Stramaccioni, he want to keep his Schneider on as much as possible for what he can create out of nothing, but at the same time he needs the fresh legs as we head into these last 15 minutes.
Snyder playing through the pain barrier midweek. Didn't train with the rest of the squad in the last couple of days preparation for this game, given us specialised training programme.
And that's where Obi, the fresh pair of legs, comes on. He wins the tackle, and then he draws a foul from Ibrahimovic. There's that Snyder shot. In the end, easy enough save for the keeper. He was maybe just drifting out a little bit, but big hands there, held that easily.
Zanetti to Milito. Montari sliding in on the tackle. Ibrahimovic not fouled, and Inter have players forward. Maicon.
It's a good ball from Maicon, isn't it? Really spreads the play out to the left hand side and allows Schneider to get onto the ball.
Again, Snyder in suing position, and again drills it straight at Amelia.
A little bit tired there, Schneider. He couldn't take it on and really get the power and create a better angle. They're trying to hit the ball to the far corner.
We're in the 29th minute of the second half. Inter 2, Milan 2. Cambiasso, Snyder. Van Bommel snapping in. Snyder releases the pass. He was then held by Van Bommel.
Well, Nagatomo didn't look up there. He just he had the pace there against Nesta.
Snyder
could have held on to the ball.
Also
Alvarez is down.
Alvarez is cramping up. Snyder also having a word with the Inter bench. Not sure if he can continue. Here's Boateng. He'll wait and roll the ball out and take some of the heat out of the game.
Good sportsmanship there from Kevin Prince Boateng, certainly. I think when Alvarez made that challenge on Boateng just previously, that's when they were just cramping up off the calf.
And Cassano will come on. He's stripped and ready at the halfway line. Number 99, Antonio Cassano.
Is it going to be his moment? He's been in excellent form since in the last month or so. He's got a lot of fitness back, a bit of game time, and we just know what class. He just oozes class when he's on the ball. They want to get the ball to him, run at tiring defenders. Pazzini to come on.
Strikers been thrown on by both teams.
It's good to see both teams going for it.
Stramaccioni said Pazzini and Milito will not be playing in the same team unless it's in the final minutes. And they've got a quarter of an hour to go.
Well, it's a brave decision, isn't it? I think Wesley Schneider will drop further back. Pazzini, his job will be to harry and chase, and Milito will continue, I think, to be the lone striker.
Robinho staying in possession. Ibrahimovic, Nocerino. It's a second chance at the cross. Headed away by Cambiasso. Van Bommel. Poor first touch by Van Bommel. Didn't seem to catch Obi, but he's going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, he was a bit late there. He didn't stop his run. Van Bommel, that's not really in his makeup. He just kept going. Obi was brave there. Van Bommel
Certainly raised his studs.
Well, had to go for the ball. Wasn't going to hold back from a challenge.
And now the board will be raised to see which number Antonio Cassano will be replacing. Allegri still trying to explain tactically what he wants from Cassano.
Well, Montari's down.
Montari is down. That's going to change everything.
So it may be the decision made for him. Montari just told maybe a bit of cramp as well.
And Allegri will want to understand if the Ghana international can continue. Because certainly he wouldn't have been the player who would have been coming off.
No, exactly. He's there and just feeling the cramping a bit, and he's coming over to the sidelines anyway. I think once a player's cramping up like that, it's time to come off. And as expected from Montari, he turns to his the Milan fans. He's not very popular with his old fans at Inter, but another wholehearted match there from Montari, giving everything as always, and replaced by Antonio Cassano, who brings the class now. We've had the lion's heart, if you like, from Montari, but now we've got the silky skills of Antonio Cassano.
And it's the last throw of the dice for Allegri. Again, a change forced upon him though. So Nocerino will continue. No matter how tired the number 22 is. Pazzini claims for a handball. It's been given. A second penalty for Inter. Pazzini, not sure if he got much on the header, but the ball struck the arm of Alessandro Nesta.
Well, the refs pointed to the penalty spot. It did hit the upper arm. How much did he know about that? The arm was away from the body. Well,
certainly raised though by Nesta. He got away with it the other week. He says, I was so close to Pazzini.
Well, that's it.
Couldn't get out the way.
It was so close. When the defender's making that move, he's not going to make it with his arms down, is he? He's going to come in and he's going to balance himself. Look how close he is to Pazzini. Oh, that's a difficult one. Well,
the rules have been said. If the defender's arm is raised, then the referee will award the penalty. Somehow defenders have got to leap with their arms down by their side, and even sometimes that's not enough. Milito on a hat-trick, second penalty of the second half. He converted his first, heading to the goalkeeper's right. He scored a hat-trick against Palermo. Well, he scored his second of the season. Milito runs up and cracks the ball to the other side of the goal, and Inter have turned the match back in their favour. It's 3-2 to the Nerazzurri.
Well, picked the other side of the goal with power, and again Diego Milito unerring with his finish. 3-2, and that goal came out of nothing really. It was a routine ball played into the middle, flick on by Pazzini. Nesta very close, couldn't get out of the way really, but as you say, Paul, if that's a ruling, so be it. And now for Milan, maybe the title is drifting away. Hat-trick for Il Principe, what a finish.
Slamming the ball into the roof of the net. 10 minutes to go. Inter 3, Milan 2.
And Stramaccioni, well, question marks over whether he'll be coach next season. I think that's been answered this evening. The players will want him to stay, the fans will want him to stay if Inter can pull off this victory, which will spoil Milan's hopes of the title. And it's been a dramatic evening. We expected that, but it's lived up to expectations and gone beyond them, really, hasn't it?
It's a 5-goal thriller, but we've still got 10 minutes to go.
certainly not over for Milan. They've got to keep going forward.
Ibrahimovic. The ball strikes Cambiaso on the chest.
Big appeals there from the Milan players that it was a handball, but wasn't going to be.
The referee clearly indicating to the Rossoneri as Obi sets off. Defends possession, flicks the ball away, but Van Bommel holds his ground. Still Milan coming forward. Robinho, Cassano drops short. Robinho tries to flight the ball in for Ibrahimovic, who then slips at the crucial moment as Cassano quickly got the ball out. Maicon apologising.
He needed to head that ball just away, not a cushion header down.
Abate lays in another cross. Boateng slides. He tries to regain his position. Boateng slowed to get back on his feet as Zanetti powers on. Takes Yepes out and Zanetti gets to the byline. Nesta sliding in this time, keeping his hands down by his side, but concedes the corner. Zanetti, he is ageless.
What a player Zanetti is. When you need a player like that, definitely off the chest. Let's not have any more controversy tonight. I don't know if I can take any more. I just want to talk about the great things about football. Javier Zanetti is one of them, 38 years old.
He has no age.
He has no age. He is the original Highlander. Just keeps going, head down, the tractor they call him. But that was more like a saloon car speeding away from the Milan defenders.
Nocerino lifting it forward. Samuel punches the header away. Boateng. Cassano. Samuel with another clearance, but Milan looking dangerous. The cross is in. Boateng.
Good defending by Samuel, wasn't it? I think it was offside, but excellent defending by Samuel, getting across there. And this is a massive moment for Inter. The recent history of the club. Ivan Cordoba to come on, his last game for Inter. There's Samuel across. You're not going to get past the wall, are you?
And it's Snyder who
can't climb over the wall. You can't run through the wall. And as you said, Paul, what is it, 8 derbies, was it? Hasn't lost a derby and he's played for Inter, something like that.
Since every match that he's started for Inter in the derby, the Nerazzurri have come out on top. And there's a helping hand in the heart of the defence now with Ivan Cordoba, his last match at the San Siro.
Another little warrior on the pitch, Cordoba, and well, coming off Schneider, and he's played his part this evening, Wesley Schneider, and there's a Milan player down, Bisceglie, I think it is, a young substitute, as he made the challenge there, just went over in his ankle with Pazzini. Yeah, we saw that. Oh, that's nasty. He's hobbling away.
Cordoba comes on for his last appearance in front of the Inter faithful. He'll be leaving the club at the end of the season.
Well, he'll go out to the left-hand side of the defence. Nagatomo will push further forward, and then when Milan have the ball, he'll drop back.
All the Inter players were wearing a Cordoba shirt at the start of the game in their warm-up.
They were, and Cordoba came on and was greeted with a great round of applause, and picked up an award for his loyal service here at Inter. But Inter will look to defend these flanks and leave Cambiaso and Zanetti to really close up through the middle, and then the back three, if you like, with Cordoba in there with Samuel and Lucio, just closing up gaps and clearing the ball away. And we're seeing here Cambiaso covering that middle, Pazzini back working well.
Boateng, we call back for that original foul on Cambiaso. Nocerino doesn't seem to be able to add anything in midfield. He's just holding his position while Bisceglie is trying to run off that twisted ankle. And so all the attack could do was just wait for some kind of opening down the right-hand side.
Well, and also the situation when you're trailing 3-2, when the start of the second half, it looked as if Milan would push on. They got that early goal. From there, they couldn't do it. Schneider suddenly got into the game, got them back into it. Inter got back on level terms with the penalty. And then that third goal really was, I wouldn't say knocked the heart out of Milan, but it's just meant that the players, it's just more difficult to get further up the pitch. It came at the third goal, it came just as Cassano came on, and we were expecting Cassano to take control of the match, and he just hasn't got involved, and that's through no fault of his own, of course.
No further changes available to Max Allegri. 2 enforced substitutions in the first half. Bonera and Abbiati injured. Obi, he's quicker than Nesta. Yepes covers though. Allegri, the pressure seems to be off him. For next season, seems that he will be confirmed as the Milan coach. Silvio Berlusconi admitting that he doesn't have the money. There's a shot driven into the top corner. What a goal by Maicon! What a way to wrap up a victory in the derby. It's spectacular.
I was just going to say, Paul, before that ball flew into the back of the net, that Milan had suddenly gone. They're sitting holding their shape, but they're holding it too far back. They're going through the motions, and allowed Maicon to race forward. But having said that, what a finish! And Douglas Maicon, he's been written off this season, hasn't he? Well, he's answered his critics as well tonight. Look at Giulio Cesar. He's got the last laugh after all of that. Stramaccioni, the young coach up from the youth team. And what a night for them, what a night for Inter, and what a disaster for Milan in the end here. We don't know the score, of course, from Juventus, but Milan have lost this match. There's no doubt about that. It's 4-2. And what a strike. He scored some wonderful goals in his career, but none as sweetly struck as that.
And that'll be one of the happiest yellow cards Douglas Maicon has ever received in his career. Taking his shirt off, lapping up the praise from the fans. And what a second half we've had. The first half seemed difficult to live up to, but it surpassed it, and then some.
And also, Paul, Pazzini's done a great job since he's come on. Another player's been derided this season. Can't find the back of the net, but he's worked really hard and won the ball back on 2 occasions. It was him that he won the ball back, will battle for the ball that eventually broke down a Milan break where Inter could come forward and find that space. And I just felt that they bypassed the midfield, the back four sitting too far back as Cassano's offside. At this rate, you know, when you're trailing, why not take off a central? I know Montari had to come off and things couldn't change, but maybe send just a central defender up front and bring young De Celio inside alongside Nesta, throw Yepes up front, just an extra body. I know it's easy to say that now, but
especially when your central defenders must amass almost 75 years between the two of them.
That's fair enough, but you know, you just throw him up there at the battle, maybe just knock the ball into the box for the drop down. You've got to keep the ball moving forward. I just felt that Milan were trying to work the ball forward, and when you're done 3-2 in the derby, you've got to just knock that ball up front and look for something, and everything's going against Milan now. Nesta, that could be one of his last games for Milan as well. He gives away the free kick
after giving away the penalty with a handball with 10 minutes to go. It gave Inter the 3-2 advantage, which has now been doubled from Douglas Maicon with his rocket into the top corner. As the game ticks down into stoppage time, still tempers.
Well, Lucio, he's going to fancy his chances here. These Inter players who played so poorly against Parma in midweek. Of course, different game, different occasion, different mindset completely. And certainly Inter back in the hunt for a European spot as well. Let's not forget that.
They will take on Lazio in the capital next weekend. Lucio drives his effort in, takes a deflection, just goes wide. Milan, their defence has crumbled. They haven't conceded. Only once in the last 15 matches have they conceded more than 2 goals in a game. Here they risk conceding goal number 5 in stoppage time.
Well, their players stand around, hands on hips now. Boateng, Cassano, it's the distress of the moment to lose the title to your city rivals. And this was a mixed football, the best sport in the world as well. And makes Italian football
Inter
the best league in the world.
Helping their ancient rivals from across the country, Juventus, to the title.
Exactly, Paul, and let's not forget that as well. The intrigue, Italy, a country of intrigue, and sport just reflects what the country's like. Amazing stuff tonight here in the San Siro. No one leaving, and all credit to the Milan fans as well. They haven't left either.
Cambiasso, his effort just goes wide, ruffles the back of the net, but from Inter's point of view, the wrong side. Stramaccioni, a happy man.
Very much so. He wants this job on a full-time basis after coming up from the youth team, and he's shown that Italy also have abundance of young coaches coming through. No need to always look abroad for coaches at top clubs. They're here in Italy and they're making their way in the game. But tonight is a moment where we're going to see the end of quite a few of these players in the shirts of Milan and Inter, their last games, and what a match we've had.
Scramble at the edge of the box. Nesta. Stramaccioni suffered his first defeat in midweek against Parma. Now heading for his 4th home win. His first was a goal fest against Genoa.
And his first derby as well, Paul. Let's not forget that.
Zanetti. Still plenty of running in those legs. Pazzini.
It is unbelievable, Zanetti. Where does he get the energy from? And he will keep going. There's talk that maybe he'll retire in the summer, but I can't see that happening.
The referee, the centre of attention in the first half, blows the whistle. It's all over. Inter have won an amazing derby by 4 goals to 2. Ibrahimovic, his double not enough, outdone by Milito hat-trick, and the 4th added from Douglas Maicon. Inter a double over Milan in Serie A this season.
Well, the drama with everything tonight, everything that was good about Italian football, everything that we think also the controversial things that aren't so great about Italian football, but it's all there. It's all brought into the mix tonight in one of the great stadiums in the world, the San Siro, packed tonight. It's been absolute privilege to commentate on this match, and both sets of players give their all tonight. A wonderful, wonderful Milan derby.
Milan, they concede their title. It's all from Paul Visca.
Me, Richard Whittle.
Thank you and good evening.